Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of HRD 633, Leadership in Adult and Higher Education. I hope you are doing well, and I just want to thank everybody for participating in the group discussions. I know we had a couple of glitches early on in the week, but now, it seems like we're finally hitting stride with that. I want to thank, it's hard to say, I want to thank the three group leaders, and they're not really leaders, but the summarizers. I'll show where to post the summary of your group activity. Doesn't have to be done until Monday. Right now it's Saturday morning. We still have 2 more days left in this week. So before we get to week number 3, which, as you know, is part of module number 1, just wanted to show the 3 group summarizers. So what I'm looking for, and I've changed this from my original approach to how to post it, but what I'd like you to do, and I know, group 1 is Nick. Nick will summarize. So Nick, you come into here, click on this. I set it up as a discussion forum. So really what I'm interested in is just a brief summary of what your group discussed. Doesn't have to be pages after pages. And you will set it up the same way. This is a discussion forum. So what you do is you come in, you click on here, and then you start a new thread. And it's just like doing a post. You can draft what you're going to say. You can summarize it in a Word document, copy, come in here into the start, hit the start button, and it could be group 1, group summary. And you might want to put Nick, Nick's name, because he was the group leader or the group summarizer for group number 1. And then hit post. So we'll have 3 discussion posts, and this is really more for your own use. So if you're in group number 3, you can take a look at what group number 1 looked at. What was, what did they focus on? And it might have been something vastly different than group number 3 and in your group. So if you have any questions on where to post the summary, let me know. But, once again, it's set up the same way. It's just a discussion forum. If this was me, I'd probably summarize it in a Word doc and then copy and paste and put it in there. So let me go back here and we'll get into week number 3 materials. So once again, here's the week number 2 summary. This is where you'll post it. Week number 3. So we have a bunch of things going on in week number 3. Different topics, things to do. Really what we're looking at the human resource development side of things. And this is in a frame. I've had some discussions from folks saying, I don't really understand what the frame is. It's just, to me, a way of organizing the thoughts around, in this case, the human resource aspect. Last week we were looking at, or the first couple of weeks, we were looking at the structural frame, which, there's different organizational charts go along with structural frames, but I mentioned it in the optional Zoom meeting where, for 20 years I worked in a pretty classic structural frame organization. In my particular organization was the Maine Forest Service. We had 3 different divisions. We had the entomology division. We had the forest protection division, which was forest rangers, and then we had the management division. Each one of those division directors reported to the state forester in this case. And then each one of those separate areas, like the forest rangers, they had their own organizational chart. So each one of us had our own organizational chart, but they tied in with the massive, organization that we had. That is the structural. Now the human resource side looks at it from a little different standpoint. So to do, explore these concepts, evaluate your learning, your leadership strength. This is really an interesting thing to do. And it's really looking at really your natural tendencies as a leader. And we will have an opportunity to talk about the results coming up. But remember, this is an assessment that none of these assessments, it could be Myers-Briggs, it could be Cole's Learning Style Inventory, whatever the assessment is, they're not meant for you to spend a long time trying to think of every scenario for each one of the questions. It's meant to get a snapshot. Don't overthink it. Just do it. You can always do it again. So what I'd like you to do is take the assessment test, and in here we have a couple of links. And I might say to you, I've had mixed results just today. I can tell you the best success that I've had is to come in here, copy that, paste it into your browser, and then you're going to get the actual assessment. What you're looking for is something like this. So I'll just streamline the process here. What I did is I posted, so this is what hopefully you're going to come into, and then from here you just hit take the test. 30 questions. It shouldn't take all that long, but if you have any trouble accessing this, please let me know. Okay, so that's the self-assessment. Read chapters 6 and 8, and I do want to reiterate this. We do not have an online discussion until week number 4. There's no discussion this week. Next week in week number 4, and I will make this available sometime later in this week. So there's no online discussion early on in week number 4 or 3, or, well, in 4 is the discussion. No online discussion in week number 3. But in 4, and like I said, and I may not open this up until next weekend, we will have the discussion on weeks 3 and 4. So that is it for me. I will just, quickly move through the arrows so you see what is here. So here's the assessment, the overview video. This one happens to be from the last time I taught the course. I have to change out a file, so that's why this is still in there. I can't delete this, and I will change, as we speak. I'll change the title. So this is where the video will be when you get it. It'll be up to date. So information in here, lots of information. By the way, I've checked all of these links. They all work. If you have any trouble with them, though, as you know, let me know. Same thing, more information in here. I've checked all of these. By the way, this is the Anatomy of Trust. Is really to me, it's a fabulous video. And if you do not know this author, this person, you're in for a treat. Her information is just spot on in my book. And, the number one reason people leave organizations is a lack in trust in the leadership. So I find each one of these, the TED Talks, especially this one is really telling, and it's easy to understand, and it's also easy to watch and dissect. So take a look at those. So then we get into week 4, but I'm not going to release this at that point. So that is it from me. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now, folks, I'm a little behind on responding, participating in the discussion forums. Hang in there. I will chime in. I can tell you I'm checking in on the group activities, and I'm pleased with the activities and the discussion so far. Keep it up. This is really an important part where we get to discuss ideas and you will have opportunities also in the assignments to do it. But keep up the good work, and like I said, I should be up to date on the discussion forums by the end of the day on Monday. Hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, please let me know. For the 3 group leaders, discussion summarizers, if you have problems, you don't understand what it is I'm asking you to do, just reach out to me and I'd be glad to help. Okay, everybody, enjoy the snow today if you're in Maine. If not, enjoy your day. See you, everybody.